besides their talent, just what was causing you so much problems defensively in the first half?
Well, obviously Wagner had a great game. He was the difference, not just in the first half, but I thought in the whole game, just from setting the tone, even though he didn't score very much in the second half. If any at all, I don't know how many he scored in the second half. But his ability to stretch the defense and their ability to find him in that matchup. But obviously he's a very skilled guy. He can drive the ball and shoot threes and very talented. And he had a great game.
Swanigan's first foul kind of changed the way he defended him when he was driving.
Could have. I mean, I don't. He's drove people, like that in our whole league. So he's had a lot of success against a lot of different people. So I don't think that had anything to do with it. I think his ability and his talent. He does a good job. He's got a bright future.
Just the stretch of turnovers to start the second half after he went 4-0, it seemed like that closed the window of opportunity.
No question. No question. And that's kind of been something that to win away for us. And we had some struggles with that earlier in conference play. And right as we scored the ball a couple times at the end, they had a chance to close out the half and really put us away then. And we were able to get a couple baskets there, and then we get a couple baskets to start the half. So you get a little bit of momentum, but you need some things to go your way. And we were getting stops. The only time they scored in the first 5 minutes was, I think, on a transition after we turned it over and maybe a foul. When you get down like that, everything's got to work for you, and those turnovers really hurt us.
What was your strategy with guarding Wagner? It looked like the beginning Biggie was on, then he switched to inside.
Yeah, we just went and switched everything, knocked them out of their action. The downside of that is now you have your bigs guarding their guards, and they can break you down off the dribble. Then you have to help, and now you got to get to their shooters. So it's what you have when you have a good point guard, and you have bigs that are skilled that can shoot and spread you out. You have to pick your poison. We can flip it on them, but when you don't score the ball at the rim, I thought if we had a lot of opportunities for Haas in there, missed dunk, layup, little hook that he normally makes. If we could have made those plays in a couple of drives and made those, we could have lived with all of it, and because we wouldn't have been out of the game. And now we put them in a bind because they're eventually going to foul us and get out of the game. But if we can't keep you in the game because from defensively that gets hard for us. So we just decided at half that we had to switch, and then when Donnell came in the game, we could play Isaac. But obviously we didn't play well enough to be able to get back in. We had that one stretch there at the end to get back in, but Derek made a really good three, and that kind of pushed it out from there.
At that point, Wagner was the star today, but Derek Bolton certainly did a lot of things on senior day.
Right.
That shot itself. I mean, have you noticed his maybe development over the past few years?
Well, I wouldn't say it's the development. I think to his defense, I think this is the first time he's been healthy in a while. He's been banged up in his sophomore and junior year, and you come back, and as a player, you don't want to talk about it, but you can see that he has that step back, and he can make plays, and that quickness and that athleticism. But he's been great. He's what college basketball's about. Keep improving, keep getting better. Good leader. Stuck it out, and that's what it's about. He's a really good player, and probably going to end up being a first-team all-conference guy in our league this year.
Were you okay with the three-point looks that you got today?
Yeah, I thought it was all right. Michigan's gotten better defensively. They've definitely they make it harder for you to catch, make it harder for you to catch in the post. We got some good looks, not a bunch of them, but we had enough. We got the ball at the rim enough, and we had the ball in the perimeter. And even though we turned it over some, I don't think deep down offense is our issue here. Defensively we had some breakdowns, and we got to do a better job of stopping them.
Do you wish that earlier in the first half you would have switched up on Wagner?
Yeah, I wish I had went with Vince Edwards and just had that switch right there. See, I have the same respect for DJ Wilson too, and so they're going to come find him. If you go watch tape, DJ Wilson's a better three-point shooter than Wagner. He's made more, and they're very similar. I shouldn't say he's better. He's made more, but they have a very, very similar skill set to where they can do both things. So it wasn't like they were going to flip it and bring him up into there. But he was the guy with the hot hand. So
In light of how they shot, what could you have done better defensively? What was the?
Well, I think that set the tone. I don't know. When you get into that and you switch, your dribble containment is your issue. I mean, when you have bigger people guarding smaller people, and then you have your smaller people trying to knock out the post, and you try to help on the weak side. You guys really want to hear all this? You do? Okay. So when you do that, it serves as your problem. Because now you got to be able to contain the dribble, and so you've switched and you've knocked out this action that's hurt us, but now you open another can of worms. And so now when they start driving, if you don't give help and you stay with the shooters, now the ball's just right at the rim off the drive. And so now when they posted, we did a good job of knocking out their post. They never threw the ball inside to their big guy outside at one time. But you got to hold your low man so they don't throw it over the top. So you hold your old man and they throw it in a skip. Well, now you're in a closeout. If you have the matchup you like, you're fine, but you've been switching a bunch, so sometimes you get unlike sizes. So that's the downside. Switching stops your action, but it doesn't give you the best mismatch. So it's here nor there.
You go into the last week of the conference, you and Wisconsin now tied in the loss column and everything. How do you approach this last week?
Well, we haven't played well the last couple games, and we have to play better. Our approach is just like anything else. You have to go back and try to fix the things that you win against. But we don't play Michigan on Tuesday. That's the one thing. Like, you're fixing some things that aren't going to come out. Like Indiana does. Indiana gives you different problems. So we play Indiana on Tuesday. So we got to get prepared for them. And just like anything else, you move from that game and you try to fix your thing, fix your problems, and fix your issues, and play to your strengths, and get ready to play. I know it'll be a great atmosphere, in Mackey Arena on Tuesday against Indiana. And I know I really didn't answer your question, but that's really what you do, though. You don't worry about a race. You don't worry about winning the Big Ten. You worry about playing better.
Hey, Matt, why the decision to start Ryan today?
I thought Ryan really has played well. We needed Carson Edwards to be more consistent. And I think, it's one thing you want to do when you start somebody instead of another guy. You want the guy coming off the bench to play better, and you want the guy to start to play better. And I thought the guy that came off the bench played better. So that was good for him. But we needed to make that switch. He needs to be more consistent in his approach. He needs to be more consistent on an everyday basis. And he's a talented kid. You saw there at the end. When he's driving that basketball, when he drives the score, he's going to be a great player in this league. He's going to be really good. And but he's got to be ready to play and ready to go at all times. And so, as you do it with young guys, at some point, you got to make sure that you're doing your best to start the game right. And we just weren't having good starts from him. So, but he played well, and he's always going to play for us because he's really good. He's a big part of our team. So hopefully he does that on Tuesday, and hopefully Ryan plays better too.
Anything else?
Thank you.
Thanks, Matt.